Okay, so I'm gonna try break down the reasoning behind this, in terms of how it works and why it works and why I believe it should work this way. So first of all, we're gonna have some fundraising going around the world from all reggae enthusiasts and fans and followers around the world. Okay, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna buy a reggae dollar, and they're gonna buy a reggae dollar on the strength of the list of the people who we say we want to involve. Okay, so that's the value added. And the underpinning for it all is what we call the UNESCO argument, which when reggae was inscribed on that UNESCO list in 2018. So what is said there and what reggae stands for makes it a global call for all to live in righteousness and unity and love and everything that makes the Most High happy. Okay, so having the tools and the platforms set by those generations before us to where we have a UNESCO now. You know who I'm talking about, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords and the conquering land of tribe of Judah, Emperor Haile I Selassie I. That we have these tools and we must use them for our own benefit because that is what is expected of I and I by His Majesty. When His Majesty says to us that we must be bigger than we've ever been before, must be members of a new race and all of that. This Jah just give the tools right now and the technology to communicate. It's all this for spreading Jah word, and then the big part of it all is that all of this coltan and lithium is basically made off of the backs of African youths slaving at the moment, which is not acceptable. So I and I would use these tools because we want to alleviate the suffering of our people in Africa, but not just Africa, but everywhere in the world. And that's why every cell phone, every computer, it must work for the benefit of this mission because this is the it makes sense to I see. So what's the next thing? Yeah, so just a breakdown of it all, the practical breakdown of it. It's not just a project that just came out of nowhere. It's not new. We've been working it for 25 years. And it's based on me actually taking my ideas and talking to people face to face and telling them, look, this is what I believe I'm gonna do. And I don't have the resources but the faith. So that's a long story to tell you, but the people that I know is because I actually went and spoke to them. Ascali Selassie, she was working with the Gong and doing the publishing, undercover of course, but she was working with the Gong and the Gong was looking for her to do that. Has Yvonne Griffith Gale, yeah, she's doing the printing of the Rastafari and all of that. So she is somebody who's been very strong. Well, it's a mystic thing, Rasta, so yeah, and I give thanks for that. So next one was Delroy Washington. Delroy Washington who also worked with Gong, and I will go through to him through 12 tribes in London when I left Denmark and went to London to do this mission, and we're talking about around 2000, so it's 25 years. See, so Delroy put me in the picture of what I needed to do, as did many elders and many people, so it's been a long time coming. I even traveled to Ethiopia. I even traveled to Aksum to go pray, at the Ark of the Covenant to get the blessing for this, So when I look back now, I can see so many mystics of what happened along the journey. Anyway, the breakdown of it is that I walked in South Africa 4,000 kilometers. After walking 600 kilometers, I came across a town called Knysna. And when I came across it before, I traveled there by bus, but I actually did walk to it again later on. But when I actually walked there, which was probably my third or fourth visit to that town, when I actually walked to it, I met a woman called Charmaine Sinclair, and Charmaine is in charge of a soup kitchen. And there's also another soup kitchen at Judah Square, which is the biggest Rastafari community outside of Jamaica. And many people have gone there, including Ivy, one of the brothers who write the Nabingi songs, and his brethren as well. His brother was there, and I met him there as well. So not enough stories. Breakdown is Charmaine. Charmaine is a community person, and I found in Charmaine the spirit that I was looking for, a person who is so committed to the people, and she's always doing soup kitchens in Hornley, and they're doing it in Judah Square as well, and many people in South Africa do soup kitchens for in the ghettos as well. And another thing, many of those people also get support from the white people, so there's a lot of things that's happening on the ground in South Africa where the people really just choose love more than anything. That's how this whole thing became even possible. It was really support from all people, black and white, to make this happen. So Charmaine Sinclair has a registered charity, and that's the main thing. So that means that the reggae dollar that we are promoting at this point here to raise the money for studio time and for the artists and everything, because of the expenses, and we don't expect artists to work for free either, because the artists who we are calling on, these are foundation artists, and as you know, we talking about their age must be protected, and must be respected. So I are ever grateful to those artists as they are grateful to the first Rastafari, you know. So we cannot ask them to do this for free. What we know is that the value added to reggae now because of UNESCO, it should make each and every person who appreciates loves reggae music, especially now after the success of the Bob Marley film and everything, to find some money to buy a reggae dollar. And then when we get that money, we got to break down and say what's for studio, and you can do those things individually too. So the artists actually can see how many people bought the reggae dollar for such and such and for such and such. And I'm calling a name because nobody's committed yet, but I'd love to say certain names. I'd love to say all the names. Now we've made a wanted list because we got to say who we want, and we want them. Okay, so they are written on the list. We want them. Go look at the list, and if they have not read this, let them know that they're on the most wanted list for Soup Kitchen Reggae, right? And it's a good cause. And another thing is that people can buy reggae dollars for every step that I take, because I got to walk 18,000 kilometers from Cape Town to Cairo. See? So that can be bought too, that can be organized too. Now, for all this information, we have our sister, Cool Mom Records founder, Mojiba, the daughter of Count Ozzy. She's right there, and she's the contact person in Jamaica. So if you're in doubt whatsoever what to do, then go. Mojiba's got it all, and we're making sure that Mojiba is taken care of as well, because these are big works. Now, I'd like to say that there is no way that I would accept that anybody who works for Rastafari or does Rasta works should never get paid. No. You work for His Majesty, you must get paid. Remember what Bob said. My father is the richest man. Nobody not rich like His Majesty. So the system that we're putting in place right now is that this whole thing of like, well, you're gonna get, look, the reward in heaven, that's not for Rasta, That's the whole point about Rastafari. You see? So if reggae music is not set up in a way where Rasta get paid, I'm not necessarily talking about the artist, I'm talking about the whole of Rastafari. Alright, because what reggae music generates should be enough to give everybody in Rastafari some kind of payment or some kind of reward, some kind of benefit, some kind of structure, some kind of idea where they want to go. Now we have that in place. That's why we've been working for 25 years to put it in place. But we're starting out with Soup Kitchen. We're starting out with what matters that everybody can overstand, that is Soup Kitchen. From then on, there are other things. Charmaine in Naisna is working with the community, and we're facing so many challenges everywhere. And we're just saying that, well, at least people must get fed, and after that we can walk and talk all the way from Cape to Cairo and sort out all the problems one by one. Okay, so that's the whole thing. So I've broken it down. So if you want to support me, I have my reggae dollars selling from my pages, reggaeremedy.net, and you can buy my music so that I keep doing this work, because I cannot work for free. Normally I play on the streets to do this work, but this takes a long time, editing, blah blah blah, and all of that, and soon it's going to be press and all of that. So it's good to actually have some money coming in from the recordings and all of that, appreciation, so they can go buy some reggae dollars off of my pages. That comes to me. All right, but we got to set up a reggae dollar that goes directly to Charmaine, and we'd like for the money that comes from the Soup Kitchen to actually go first to Charmaine, and then Charmaine then must give that money out to people. If it goes to the music, we don't know how we're going to set it. Mojiba could have set up a reggae dollar, what could I say, recipient account, if you want to call it. And if Ascali Selassie wants to do the same as well, because one thing, Ascali Selassie is traveling the world all the time with little money, and I've seen her in action, you understand? And I say, look, Mama, the way you work like this, in reality, you should be flying first class, because no Rasta, no. hand to mouth business within reggae music and Rastafari workers has to be a thing of the past right now. That's why we come with this thing called the reggae dollar, where we look out for each other and we make sure we do. The more reggae dollar I buy, the more we register that you bought the reggae dollar, and the more you are buying into the solidarity and the integrity that's going to take care of all of an I, no matter what it is that wants to do. As long as it's righteous and it's just, we know Jah's going to bless it. See, and so that's the breakdown of it. The rest of it is on the website, and just get on with it. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I find the artist and find the studio. Studio, I won't lie. Studio, I want to work with Squidly, my brethren, Squidly Cole. You know, 100 Studios, what it's called? Studio 100 or 100 Studio. Yeah. And like I say on that list there, I'm calling out the names who I really want then. I want Clive Hunt on it because it need arrangement. There's more I gotta tell you. There are other videos, but I want Clive Hunt on it. So the people who know music, they will know that, hey, if there's the budget for this thing and the people raise the budget for it, like the prepay album or prepay for a song, and the money comes and says the money locked down and now I'm gonna go out there and go record this thing and that's what's gonna happen, you know it's gonna be quality music. So I want every reggae critic, every writer, every journalist who's been on this journey from way back to do it, would love them to do that. Now there's a song called UNESCO Reggae, and I beg you on my knees, I'm begging Jimmy Cliff to do this song. Go listen to the song, and I'm sure everybody will agree that this is a song that's made for Jimmy Cliff, the first king of reggae. And this is to just secure the legacy of all the artists like Leroy Smart, who've been talking about Africa, that this soup kitchen thing will feed the hungry in Africa, and we can repatriate and we can centralize and organize, This is the reggae legacy, this is reggae legacy. So if the singers are willing to put their name to this, we will find all manners of fundraising, sponsorship, everything that needs to be done to say that this is worth it. You see? You don't see how messed up the world is right now? Not even the preacher in church can give the people the glad tidings and what's supposed to be said. Now what happened to them? That's because they're not the shepherds. Only the real shepherds will give the people, will take care of the sheep. People don't like to use the word sheep right now because the sheep is stupid people. But, well, no matter what, whether the sheep is stupid or whatever, the shepherd must take care of the sheep. So you can't get angry at the sheep for being sheep. Sheep is sheep, right? That's why you're a shepherd, right? All right. So we're not here to get vexed at the people or judge the people and the kind of thing like that. We're just here to care for the people and make sure that people get what the Father has given us. So that's Bunny Wailer. You be found worthy to enter in your vineyard. We love Bunny Wailer. So there's a lot to talk about. This is just the video that I'm giving to Mujiba. And if Mujiba talks to people in Jamaica, anywhere, they say this is the brother and this is what he's about. But we're making many more videos and we're breaking it down. And this is it. Cape Town to Cairo by foot. I'm the one who's going to walk. Okay? So along the way, we're going to have those stadium shows. And the stadium shows are going to be run and funded by the youths. And you are performing these songs which are written for King of Africa Publishing. King of Africa Publishing is owned by the youths of Africa. All the youths enter that as an association, and that means they're also going to be the promoters. I mean, it's not going to be no middleman. It is the youths who will put you on stage. It was the youths who will make it happen. It is the youths who will take the money from that stage and make sure they put it into permaculture, agriculture, and everything else and help their mothers. That's why it's called Cool Mom Records. All right, so the money don't go to no perverts or whatever and no crazy type of people. This time the money goes to mama, and mama takes care of the nation. See? Blessed love, Rastafari.